bracing sequence is what I'm going to go over for you right now. Bracing sequence ensures midline stabilization. So what that means is it ensures that your spine is safe and in alignment as you enter into a movement, go through the movement, and as you end the movement. So you want to maintain that neutral braced spine as you do anything, as you squat, as you push up, as you deadlift, as you pull, if you are just carrying things. That's what you want to be able to do before every movement so that you don't injure yourself. It starts off like this. Get into position. So let's just say we're going to brace for a squat. So you're about a little outside shoulder width. First thing you want to do is create a neutral pelvis. And in order to produce this neutral pelvis, a lot of us stand like this, in which here, this is like tilted back. Neutral pelvis, boom, comes under like this. How do we do that? You can imagine that your feet are on two pieces of connected paper towel, and that you're rotating and trying to break that paper towel apart with your feet. Or you can imagine corkscrewing your feet into the floor. By doing that, you create external rotation in your hip, okay? And that creates some torque and it creates stability in your hip joint. And it also brings your pelvis into neutral alignment. So you're not actually moving your feet. So you're not going to go like this. You're just going to create that movement while keeping your feet in place. So you can practice. When you rotate that out, you can feel kind of also your knees are going to turn out this way, and your butt's going to come forward. So you're going to squeeze your butt at the same time as you rotate that in. So what that's doing is taking out the slack in your joint and creating some power in there, basically. Okay? So that's step number one. Number two, once you do that, boom, neutral pelvis. You need to take a deep breath in. So, that's step number two. So let me break that down because you just probably heard me exhale. You want to bring your rib cage, make sure your rib cage is over your pelvis and that you're creating tension in your core. Okay? So to do that, you don't want to have your rib cage flared up like this. You want to close, sometimes we say close the canister. So what that does is braces your core and your low back. So it braces all this around here. And it brings your rib cage over top of your pelvis. And that's all good things. That's bringing us into midline stabilization, neutral spine, brace neutral spine. The reason we take that breath in and push all the air out is because we need to create tension. And once we push all that air out, just try it at home, you're going to feel that this all of a sudden there's tension here, okay? And you're going to hold that tension in your core. That's bracing. It's different than just sucking your stomach in. It's completely different. If you just suck that in with you're not creating any tension, you're just holding, there's some tension there. But when you do that, you're also creating tension everywhere. So you're already creating tension in your glutes, you're creating your core, and when you bring your shoulders down and back, you're also stabilizing your upper back. I know it's a lot of things, but this is a process. And over time, it'll just come naturally to you. And at first, it might be a lot to think about, but that's okay. You will get it, I promise. So, first step, corkscrew your feet, and at the same time, clench your butt. Neutral. That's bringing you into your neutral pelvis. You're going to breathe in. You're going to exhale out, so that now you have tension in your body, okay? And that's where all your power is coming from. And when I go down to squat, you're maintaining that the whole time, the tension in your body, and you're coming back up. So what that does while you maintain that tension is make sure that you're not going into hyperextension in your back or rounding at your shoulders. all the things that cause injury. So by practicing this before you do anything, before you do every lift, you will start to ingrain this, and you're going to prevent injuries, and you're going to be actually able to lift more than you would by not creating that tension in your body, okay? Another thing I want to say about tension for you is you can think of it on a scale of 1 to 10. You want to have your core brace. You want to have this midline stabilization even when you're at work, when you're just walking down the road, in your daily life, okay? So for walking, standing, sitting, 20% or 2 out of 10 is how much tension you want to create, okay? If you're doing body weight movements, so if you're doing a body weight squat, I'm not going to go like this, and I mean you can, it's going to give you a workout because you're creating more tension, but it's not necessary, and maybe you'll overstrain. So you would say like 30, 40, 3, 4. Great, keep the tension. If you're to do the heaviest you can lift, your 1 rep max, that's where you want to create like 10, 100% tension so that your body is safe and can generate enough power to lift that heavy weight. So as we go through, we're working together, we're going to practice the bracing sequence, and we're going to learn what tension feels like in our body, how to create tension, and what's the right number to use depending on movements. Okay? Great.